Hello adventurers, it is I, Soulist Adventure, and welcome to my YouTube channel. And for today's video, we are going to be going through a Vinekin's Revenge, and this will be part 7 of the campaign. And so before we get started, I do want to mention that I did write part 6 of the narrative piece on my blog, but I did personally find it a little too short, and so I think for my next blog update, I will combine part 6 and then today's session, part 7, into one, so then it'll be a little longer, and all the details would just kind of make more sense when it's just placed under the same blog. So I will let you guys know when that is ready for you guys to check out. Alright, so we will just cover really quick where we have left off in part 6 here. Alright, so we have here Morgwen in the town of Thornmere, and basically what happened was she met with his name is Ben. He is one of the blacksmiths that works at Rockridge Forge, and that is also where Graf used to work. So Graf is the missing blacksmith, and that is who Morgwen is trying to find. And Ben was able to kind of give her some context of why he thinks that Graf isn't the one who murdered the priest over at the Wildborn Chapel. And so he believes that it's this other blacksmith worker who used to work at Rock Ridge Forge, and that is Sayoa. And so now Morgwen, after chatting with Ben and getting some context around that, Morgwen then visits the town hall to meet with Felix over here, and he is working as a servant for the mayor. And he was able to kind of listen in to some meetings for the mayor, and he has learned that the mayor is actually working with the one who murdered the priest of the Wildborn Chapel. And so Morgwen is trying to piece together kind of why why the mayor wants to take down the priest. And so essentially the mayor wants to take down Wildborn Chapel and get rid of all the thorns that are surrounding Thornmere, or all the vines that are surrounding Thornmere, and essentially get rid of Kevin, who is the spirit of the forest of Everveil Hollow. And here is a little mini that is going to be representing Kevin. And so Kevin over here is in Everveil Hollow, which is kind of like this foresty area. And so now Morgwen, knowing that information from Felix over here, she's going to try to visit Felix every few days or so to try to gather some more information if he hears anything else about the mayor and the mayor's plans to expand Thornmere and get rid of the Wildborn Chapel, essentially. So that is where we have left off, and Morgwen found a construction site that she wants to work at, and it is near the market square here. And so essentially she wants to blend in and just try to kind of get to know the construction workers who work for the mayor, and she wants to try to kind of eavesdrop and understand kind of the context behind why there is so much hate towards Wildborn Chapel. And I think eventually she would want to also kind of do some more research around the history of Everveil Hollow just in general, and kind of understand more about Kevin, the spirit of the forest. And so that is where we have left off. I'm just going to leave this mini over there on the side in case if we need it. And so Morgwen is at the at the construction site. And just for some context here, I did play offline a little bit to kind of get some context of how Wildbourne Chapel like functions as a religious kind of unit. And so I also was very interested in their beliefs as well, and kind of the, I guess, hierarchy. And so what I mapped out is Kevin is essentially like their god, and Kevin would be speaking to the priest, and then the priest would be speaking to the followers, and kind of updating the followers on what Kevin is like saying to all of his, I guess, disciples. And so the priest is kind of the mediator between Kevin and the followers of the Wildbourne Chapel. And some beliefs that I mapped out, I have more details that I kind of want to share more in the blog, but essentially Kevin thinks that mortals are selfish, and he really hates how they are tearing down like trees and such, and cutting off his like vines. And so we are gonna kind of go into more detail of like the beliefs and history surrounding Everveil Hollow, if Morgwen decides to kind of do her own research, maybe go to the library, maybe ask some like locals who have been around for a while. And so yeah, so that's kind of where we are at. And so before we begin, I do want to light a candle over here. I have been enjoying just lighting some candles to kind of add, I guess, a little bit to my solo tabletop sessions. So I'm going to put it over here, and I don't know, it just adds to the magic. So anyways, all right, so we will get started here. First, I want to know what the theme is right now with the, I guess, construction site near the market square. So we are going to be kind of rolling here for the, for the theme here, and we will see what the theme is. Okay, so let's roll. Whoops, what is it again? A 10? All right. Okay, so we got a 1, which is action. Okay, so that must mean that there is some business going down at the construction site. So this will be a development. Let's see kind of what the scene is. So I don't think I'm gonna draw out too much of the details here, but how... Actually, you know what? Why not? Let's get a little artsy craftsy here. So I think I will kind of remove all of this for a sec. Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna remove everything for a second and put the map over here. So let's just draw out a construction site. So this is kind of what I am picturing. So if the market square, so let's do it over here. So let's say the market square is here on this side. And then so on the other side of the market square will be the construction site. And so I think what I rolled was, where is it? Oh, it's here. Yeah, so there is an area. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so area around Market Square, and then that would be the construction site. Okay, cool. So how I'm picturing it is maybe there is an old building here. So let's just say it's like a small building. Yeah. And then I would say it's probably like surrounded by vines. So I guess we can draw some like squiggly lines here to kind of represent the vines, and then maybe there are construction workers on the corners over here that are trying to remove the vines off of this old building. And I want to see, I would assume that there is going to be like kind of the head I guess manager in a way, who would be kind of overlooking the site. How I'm picturing it is there's probably like ladders up along the building, and to like reach the top part of it to kind of like cut down the vines and such. So there's probably ladders, and then there's probably maybe like tools or something over here. Yeah. So there's like tools to like cut off the vines, maybe even like weapons too. And so yeah, that is kind of how I'm picturing it. And so Morgwen is probably going to be coming from Market Square and just kind of observe what is going on here. And I know she would definitely want to kind of see the head kind of leader of this construction site. I would imagine there's also a guard too, who would be kind of there to help overlook some stuff in case if things kind of get dangerous. And so that is kind of how I am picturing the scene in my head. And so now we rolled that there is some sort of action kind of going on. So let's see kind of what that looks like here. So we are going to be pulling out our adventure crafter, and we'll kind of see what is going on. Okay, so we got 6. Okay, and we got action. Okay, so interesting. So it says here plot point conclusion. Okay, so if this turning point is currently a plotline development, which it is, then it becomes a plotline conclusion. Incorporate anything necessary into this turning point to end this plotline. Remove it from the plotlines list. If this turning point is a new plotline already a conclusion, then consider this plot point a none. Interesting. Okay, so I guess that doesn't make any sense because we did just start a new one. You know what? I think I'm just gonna re-roll that one. It doesn't really make sense for it to be, because if it's an action, yeah, I'm not sure how to interpret. Oh, maybe. Wait, what time is it? It's around 1. Okay, so that was where we left off. So what? This is probably around like 1:30 p.m. Okay, so the workday can't be done, I'm assuming. Yeah, I'm just gonna re-roll that again. So let's see here. Okay, so we got a 94. So let's see. 90. Alright, so it says here, destroy the thing. Okay, a character must destroy or try to destroy something in this turning point. Maybe a party of dungeon delvers reaches the heart of the cavern where they must break a mystic seal. Okay, so destroy the thing. We are gonna write that down. So, interesting. Destroy the thing. Okay. Okay. And we'll put PC, so for Morgwen there. Okay, so she is to destroy something. Maybe that something is causing kind of the action or tension going on in this scene. So hold on, let's see what the vibe is like, I guess, when she kind of comes across this construction site. So I wonder if she sees anything. Yeah. let's see here. So let's just ask the fate chart really quick if there is anything like tense, maybe. Yeah, so let's ask the fate chart here. So let's ask, like, is there any like tension going on between the workers and maybe like the head manager here or something? Oops, that was a poor roll. Okay, so we got a 44, and I did think it would be a 50-50. Okay, so that also means it is a yes, but there's also a random event that happens. Okay, so for that random event, what could it be? So now we are going to roll and see. Okay, so 66. Close a thread. Alright. So this random event brings about the closure of an open thread. Okay, so roll on the threads list to see which thread this involves. Okay. So, oh yeah, I didn't really use the threads list. Okay, so I'm just going to interpret that as maybe we're closing something here. So closing a thread. So maybe, so there's Seowa. I wouldn't think her kind of plotline would close. We still need to find her. Yeah, so it's unlikely that she would be here. Oh, do we? Let's see. So yes, there's some tension going on. Maybe they are in like a fight or something. Okay, so we're gonna make a note here. So there is like tension between maybe the workers. Yeah, so tension between workers, and then I have to close a thread. Okay, so, oh, you know what? I wonder, does Morgwen recognize any of these people at the scene right now? Okay, so I'm gonna ask the fate chart if any of these people at the scene is anyone that she like recognizes. Okay, so 74, so that is a no. So she doesn't really recognize anyone here. Let's see. So I wonder, so all these are kind of new faces for her. So I wonder then, kind of, I'll probably roll on the action table here and descriptor. Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna roll on the action table to kind of see what it's like right now. The scene. Okay, so we got 07. Oh, okay, so for this one we got battle. Interesting. Okay, so maybe these two are in a fight. Okay, so they are in a fight. And let's see the description. 82 here. Oh, rotten? Interesting. Oh, okay, so maybe... Oh, maybe like this is a wooden building here. Okay, so maybe the wooden building is... maybe the wood just got really bad, like the wood is like rotting or something. Okay, so this is how I am interpreting the scene here. So maybe there is tension going on between the two workers here, and they are getting into a fight. And then I would assume that the building here is rotting. So I'll say that. Rotting building. And maybe the two workers are just kind of disagreeing with the head manager of like how they should handle this. Like maybe one NPC is saying like we should just tear down the building as a whole, and then the other one is probably saying that he's probably just annoyed that they're not like agreeing on this. So maybe he's probably just saying, oh, I don't want to have to destroy the whole thing, right? To tear down this building. And maybe for Morgwen here, maybe destroying the whole thing is the solution. So, okay, so I think how this is going to work is she is going to be going up to the manager, and I want to see if she can catch his attention to see if she could get started with work here. And so I want to see, while these two are kind of fighting in an argument. Yeah, okay, so let's see here. We have to roll a 12, d12. Okay, so a 10. Okay, so it says here kind. All right, he is kind to her. Okay, so she's probably gonna tell him like, hey, I'm Morgwen, I'm ready to work. And the head manager is probably telling her, yes, you can get started. But he's also probably kind of handling these two that are fighting. And so maybe the guard is kind of coming in at this point to try to stop the tension between these two. And so Morgwen will probably overhear the conversation between the two of them. And I would imagine that the best thing that this construction site group of workers, the best thing for them to do is to just destroy the building and just rebuild it. And so I think that is what she is going to do. And so I think she will probably tell the manager here that they should just destroy the building. Yeah. Okay, so to recap really quick, I'm going to start over here so I can just get this all straightened out from my head. So she is walking towards the construction site, and she sees that it is an old, worn, and rotting building, and the vines are surrounding the building, and workers are assigned to cut down some of the vines. But she comes in with a really tense conversation and fight going on over here, and just as she's about to approach the manager of the construction site, she overhears a conversation between the two workers here. One is saying that they need to destroy the rotting building, and they think that is the best way to just deal with all these vines that are surrounding this building. But this guy, he's probably saying, no, we shouldn't do that. Maybe he's lazy. Maybe he is also saying that cutting down the vines, that like this many, maybe he's saying that because of the amount of the vines that are surrounding the building, he is scared that it's going to like trigger Kevin or something to like snap back at this guy. And then the head manager is probably saying to not worry about Kevin snapping at that worker because it is only the afternoon. It's not nighttime yet or anything. And so Morgwen is coming in here, and she's trying to tell the manager that she is ready to work. But the manager is kind, and he says yes, that you can go straight to work. But he's also dealing with these two that are arguing. And then maybe a town guard kind of comes in at this point to try to diffuse the situation here. And so Morgwen is, I would say that she thinks it is best to just destroy the building, because she does want to blend in with the Thornmere construction site workers who do work for the mayor. And so she's probably assuming that these guys are all aligned with the mayor wanting to just get rid of Kevin, the spirit of the forest. And so she's probably just going to tell this guy, you should just do it. We should just destroy and get rid of this old building. That's probably the best way that we can go about it. And the manager is probably impressed. And so, yeah, so we'll see if she's able to convince these guys that they should just destroy the building and just tear it down. So yeah, I think she really wants to try to blend in and kind of be on the same page as these guys. And so because she's probably assuming that if they are working for the mayor, they're probably in line with wanting to just get rid of Kevin, the Vinekin spirit. So I will roll for maybe Will over here. Yeah, isn't that what WIL stands for? Or willpower? I think it's willpower. I feel like I haven't touched this in a while. Yeah, willpower here. Okay, so we'll do that to do kind of like a check. So she has to roll under a 13. 10. Perfect. Okay, so she was able to convince them. And this guy is probably a little nervous, but the manager is probably happy that Morgwen is agreeing. And so, okay, so they agree that they need to tear down the building. And so workers over here, they are going to be probably trying to have like maybe some sort of like pulley system to pull down the wooden panels of the walls of the building. She's probably going to be doing the same thing. I do want to try to do a strength check to just see how it goes for her, because I know she's not really the strongest here. So let's just see if she's able to kind of show off a little bit. Oh, okay, cool. So that was a 4. Okay, so she was able to tear down part of the building, tear that down. They were able to tear this down. Maybe this guy was able to tear down this part of the building. Okay, so it looks like they were able to tear down the building. I'll just write it here. So tearing down the old building. And I'd probably say she is a little freaked out that she agreed to do that, because she is scared of Kevin the Vinekin, because she did get snapped by him as she was traveling through to get to Thornmere. And so yeah, so she's probably a little bit scared that she like agreed to do that. But anyways, so now with the situation kind of diffusing now, so probably the guard is not in that area as much anymore, and with a successful strength check, the manager is probably going to look at her and tell her that he is impressed. And so he's probably going to say that he is impressed with her strength and her problem-solving skill, and just knowing that, you know, the best way to go about this to expand Thornmere is to just get rid of vines and old buildings. And so he's probably gonna like talk to her. And I kind of want her, I feel like now that she kind of showed, I don't want to say showed like loyalty, but kind of showed that in a sense of saying, hey, I'm on the same side as you. Kind of want to see if she's able to spark the conversation with the manager here, and kind of ask more about the mayor and kind of his beliefs around Kevin the Vinekin. She's probably going to say something like, yeah, forget those stupid vines. And she's probably also going to say something like, yeah, and I hate Wildborn Chapel or something. And I kind of want to see if that type of reaction, I want to see like how this, how the manager reacts to that. So I'm going to do another will kind of check to kind of see if that gets his attention here. Okay, so 15. Okay, so no. So he's probably a little more reserved here. And so he probably just nods his head and is like, yeah, like, you know, we're just doing our job here. Okay. And so she's probably going to go over to this side and maybe see if she can chat with this guy. And she's probably going to help him tear down this part of the wall, or of the building. And let's see if she's able to like kind of convince him to like chat a little bit with her. Okay, cool. So that was a success. Okay, so this guy, he's probably going to say to her, you know, that Wildborn Chapel, they embrace the vines because they do love worshiping Kevin and they want to pay respects to him. They love just being close to the earth. Basically, they want to be one with like the vines, and so that's why they don't touch the vines at the chapel. And so I think what she's going to do next is to kind of like maybe ask more about like where she could kind of learn. I kind of want to see if she can ask more about the murder in at the Wildborn Chapel. So let's see. So when she brings that up, I want her to say something like, "Aren't you glad that guy's gone now?" And so let's see. Okay, so that was a success. So he's probably gonna like tell her, "Shush, like we shouldn't be like talking about it so loudly." And then he's promising like, "Yes, but we are." I would say that the mayor is getting close to wanting to get rid of the Wildborn Chapel, and it's because he's probably going to tell this to her. It's because the priest is the one who communicates between Kevin and the followers. So that's why the mayor wanted to target the priest. And so let's see. I want her to ask him if he knows like who did it. Well, that's a little risky there, but let's see here. Ooh, 1. Okay. So he is completely into this conversation. And he probably says that I don't really know. Let's see. Actually, I want to ask the fate chart first. So does he like know Seowa well? That's kind of what I want to ask. If this worker does. Oh, 30. Okay. So whoops, I forgot to mention this, but I was thinking it would be 50-50. So he does know Seowa. Okay. And so probably says yes. And I kind of want her to ask if she could like chat with Seowa. Maybe Morgwen saying like, I'm just so amazed by how she was able to do it, you know? And so I just want to like thank her, and she's doing Thornmere a favor here. So let's see. I'll say construction worker knows Seowa. Okay. And so yeah, and so let's see if he knows where I guess she's at right now. I would say that's like a 50-50. Okay, so a 70. So that's definitely a no. So he's probably saying like, no, I don't really know like where she is right now. But does he know where she lives? Let's see. Oh, 24. Okay. Okay, so that is a yes. So maybe not knows like where exactly she lives, but at least like where she kind of like hangs around. And so let's see. Let me roll a 1d6 to see where she kind of likes to hang out. So 6. Oh, okay, so the market square. Perfect. Okay, so the construction worker probably says that Seowa likes to hang around the market square. Okay. So Seowa likes to hang around the market square here. Okay, so that is good to know. So I think she has gotten enough information. I know she probably doesn't want to ask too much, or else she'll just sound a little more suspicious. And so I think that's where we're gonna leave it off for now for that conversation. I would probably say it is what now, like 4 o'clock now, so probably the end of the workday. So this construction site, they were able to get rid of the entire building and tear it down. And now the manager over here is saying, good job, you guys can all go home now. So now it is the end of the workday, and so it is 4 o'clock. And so that means most likely here they would be going back, calling it a day here. So I'll just put these guys away for a sec, and then we will bring out the map. Okay, so we'll say, okay, so that'd be going home. Okay, so we have, let's put all this back now. Okay, so now, okay, so now it's the end of the day, and Morgwen was able to get really good information that that will be helpful for her in kind of figuring out the mayor's plans, who Seoa is, and try to bring Seoa to justice. And so, yeah. So I think for Morgwen, it is getting late, but I do feel like she would want to kind of know more about Wildborn Chapel, and so I think I kind of want her to maybe stop by the library and see if she can find any books on kind of the history of Everveil. And yeah, so let's see that. I want to say, I feel like the library would close maybe around 6. So you know what? Let's ask the fate chart here if the library is still open. I would probably say maybe in like the likely range. So let's see if it's still open here. 32. Oh, okay, great. So it is still open. Okay. So she is going to go to the library, and I want to see if we'll use this again. So she goes into the library and she gets greeted by the librarian, and so I kind of want to see if the librarian is like helpful. So let's see, we'll roll a d12 here. 11. Okay, so the library is kind. Librarian, not the library. Librarian is kind. Okay, so the librarian's probably asking, hello, how can I help you? Are you looking for anything specific here? And Morgwen answers that I'm just trying to find the history behind Everveil and Thornmere, and kind of how Thornmere developed, etc. And so she's probably going to say, oh, there's a section on kind of the, I guess, the origin story of Thornmere. And so, let's see. Oh, whoops. She doesn't go home, so she goes to the library now. And so she walks over to the section of like the books. And let's see. We'll make a note here that Morgwen is looking for Thornmere, I guess, history. Yeah, so Thornmere history. So let's see. I didn't really look too much into this, but essentially, I think what I want Morgwen to kind of learn is that Thornmere is a town that wants to thrive and expand, and the mayor of Thornmere, maybe he is very popular, very likable by the people, and he really tries to support people and wants them to succeed in Thornmere. And then maybe she also wants to see kind of how did Wildborn Chapel kind of get into the picture here. And so probably the mayor is probably very encouraging of just like different, maybe like different like viewpoints. And so he's probably like open to just having different, religions represented in Thornmere. But maybe the mayor, he is not liking how the vines over time have just been so bothersome for him. That's probably what she is going to kind of be reading. And so now she probably wants to look for books on the Wildborn kind of church and chapel and beliefs. So I want to see if she would find that in the public library here. So let's see. 18. Okay, great. So they are for sure available in the library. So she asks the librarian for books on that. And I want to know if this would be kind of like archived or something. Yeah, so let's ask the fate chart here if it's like open for just anyone to read. Oh, 90. Okay, so that is a definite no. Okay, so she found Thornmere history, and it looks like the mayor has a really good record of just being a really good guy who is just all about wanting to expand, give people jobs, etc. But Wildborn history is locked up. Okay. So Wildborn history is maybe like locked in maybe like a separate room or something. History books are not available publicly. Okay. So the librarian is probably like, why are you interested in looking at Wildborn history that is classified, I guess, in information? And so I want to see if Morgwen can... I want to see if she can like convince the librarian. Morgwen is just saying, I just want to understand who they are, what they like represent. I don't agree with them. She's probably trying to make that clear because the library is owned by the mayor, and so she's probably gonna tell the librarian that that she is on kind of the mayor's like side here. So let's see if she's able to convince the librarian to give her access to the archives. Ooh, 12. Okay, that was a close one. Okay, so yes. So the librarian gives her the key, and yeah, let's see here. So the librarian gives her the key. Yeah, so the librarian gives her the key, and now Morgwen is going to kind of see what she can like find out about the Wildborn history. Okay, so now she is going to read into that. So I think what she is going to read in that book, I've kind of played this part offline a bit, is that Kevin is the god who talks to his disciples through a priest, and unfortunately the mayor took out the priest, and so the, I guess, communication between Kevin and his followers is broken, and that, I would imagine, aggravates not just Kevin but also the Wildborn chapel as well. And so the belief is that Arteris, who is the goddess of the earth, was not pleased when Arteris started to see Thornmere survive. When she started to see Thornmere expand, and Kevin wasn't able to kind of stop that expansion. And so Arteris kind of sees Kevin as a failure in protecting Everveil Hollow. And so he wants to earn back her favor here. And so basically Morgan's going to try to like put all the pieces together to kind of understand the why behind Kevin wanting to get back his, I guess, his home, his Everveil Hollow. And then she comes across a section in Wildborn Church, and probably a section will be about how to turn into a Vinekin. She probably sees like diagrams of how Kevin transforms humans into Vinekins. And so I think now she's going to try to like piece together that now that the communication between Kevin and his followers is broken, I believe Kevin will now become a little more aggressive. And now that she read that there is a chance of humans actually turning into Vinekins, she's probably a little worried that, okay, what if Kevin gets so aggravated that he is about to turn, about to turn humans into Vinekins or something. And so she started to, get all those like pieces together. So I think the main thing that she really wants to do now is probably go to Wildborn Church and try to like see kind of what is going on. And so, okay, so she has read all the history that she needs to know about Kevin and Everveil Hollow. And so she thanks the librarian for the help, and then she probably heads to the tavern now. Or no, not the tavern. She probably now wants to head to the Wildborn Chapel. And I would probably say it's like, what, 6 p.m. now? So it's pretty late. And I kind of want her to now explore kind of and try to observe what Wildborn Chapel is like at night. And then I know she does remember about Seoa as well. So she remembers that Seoa likes to hang around the market square. She'll try to find her there. But she also knows that Seoa has disguised herself too as a Wildborn Church member as well, to try to blend in, because that was how she was able to frame Graf and get into the chapel. And so yeah, so I think next time, so this is where I'm gonna stop. So I think next time we're gonna continue exploring Morgwen and kind of her interactions in the Wildborn Chapel, and kind of see what is happening at the Wildborn Chapel. So yeah, okay, I think this is where we can stop for now. And so, all right, okay, well, I just want to say thank you so much, adventurers, for following me along in this journey. And I'm really excited to kind of write out part 6 and part 7 and put them together. I know I'm not really the best at explaining all the ideas and stuff that flow into my head, and writing stuff out in a blog is helpful for me, and I hope it's also entertaining for you as well. But we will continue that next time. So thank you so much, adventurers. I'll keep you posted on part 7 and part 6 of my blog.